It's a film where everyone and everything just radiates. The setting is idyllic, the costumes elegant, and the stars breathtakingly glamorous and sophisticated. The movie is To Catch a Thief.
My jewels! My jewels!
Released in 1955, To Catch a Thief stars Cary Grant and Grace Kelly. The romantic thriller is a total departure from director Alfred Hitchcock's usual fare of murder and nail-biting suspense.
In all the Hitchcock films, there's sort of a dark tone, there's sort of an undercurrent of danger and fear, and that's really missing from To Catch a Thief. It's really more of a light romance.
The film lured Cary Grant, who was 51 at the time, out of semi-retirement, and reunited him with Hitchcock, who had directed him in Notorious and Suspicion. Grant had not made a film in over 2 years, during which time he turned down numerous roles. But surprisingly, working with Hitch was not the bait.
Cary Grant came to the project simply on the drawing card of Grace Kelly. He was actually on a world cruise at the time, and Hitchcock cabled him and said, "Would you like to make a movie in the south of France with Grace Kelly?" And Grant said, "Yes, I'm on my way."
Grant plays John Roby, a retired jewel thief known as the Cat Burglar. For his role in the resistance during World War II, Roby has been granted a pardon and lives in the lap of luxury on the French Riviera.
Cary Grant and Grace Kelly were two of the most physically appealing and charismatic stars of their day, and they were also fashion plates.
You going to rob Mother first or somebody else?
Well, under the circumstances, somebody else.
While the film is not typical Hitchcock, he still manages to inject an atmosphere of suspense and sexual tension.
When Hitchcock defined an attractive woman sexually, he defined her as the woman who wears a sexuality deep inside, almost hidden, so that there's a sort of surface beauty and surface tension.
Ever had a better offer in your whole life?
Once you get beyond it or below it, the sexuality just kind of blossoms or explodes.
Hitchcock had been enamored with Grace Kelly. She had already appeared in 2 of his films, Dial M for Murder and Rear Window. And with each, he captured her beauty. But in To Catch a Thief, which would be their last film together, she is exquisite, regal.
What makes the movie sort of a remarkable Hitchcock film is how much the camera and the director are obviously in love with this woman, Grace Kelly. It's really a celebration in many ways of her talent as an actress. So it's sort of a Valentine to Grace Kelly.
Like a travelogue, the film captured the essence of the Riviera, its spectacular scenery, colorful marketplaces and beaches. But some minor problems arose on the shoot with the bikini-clad sunbathers.
They actually had to import 50 French extras from Paris, and they showed up with their French bikinis, which, as it turns out, were a little bit too revealing. So Hitchcock had them redressed, wearing more conservative American styles.
That joie de vivre attitude posed another dilemma for Hitchcock while shooting a lunch scene.
Hitchcock had asked the prop man if he could substitute apple cider for champagne. But this being the French Riviera, there was in fact no apple cider, so the prop man had to use real champagne for the extras, who were probably very happy to get it.
The Côte d'Azur had as big a role in the film as its stars.
Lovely day.
And it would prove to be prophetic for Kelly, who 2 years later would marry Prince Rainier of Monaco and make the French Riviera her home.
Why don't you own a place like this?
Palaces are for royalty. We're just common people with a bank account.
Even more foretelling is this scene of Kelly wildly driving along the mountain roads.
The sad irony of the film is that some of the locales that were actually used in To Catch a Thief, those windy highway roads where we see Grace Kelly and Cary Grant trying to escape the policemen pursuing them, are in fact the very same roads where Grace Kelly was tragically killed in an auto accident in 1982.
In a strange way, there is a sort of darkness to this light film that wasn't there when they made it.
But for the cast and crew back then, working on this thoroughly lush film was a high point in their careers.
When you talk to the men and women who worked with Hitchcock during this period, without a single exception, everyone says To Catch a Thief was their favorite film to work on, and it is their favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie.
You have a very strong grip, the kind a burglar needs.
To Catch a Thief received lukewarm reviews, But today, more than 35 years later, it continues to dazzle and delight.
It is as hard to make a film as light in touch as To Catch a Thief as it is to make one that's heavy and dark. So for me, To Catch a Thief is equal to all the other Hitchcock greats.
You can see Alfred Hitchcock's To Catch a Thief all this month on AMC.